Hi, everybody, and welcome to a morning edition of Brownie Bites. He is Daryl Ruiter. I'm Andy Baskin. They talk about playing complementary football when it comes to the Browns as we do our little post game here following the game in London where they lost to the Minnesota Vikings 21-17. Complementary football. Well, normally you would think that's three phases of the ball. That would be offense, defense, special teams. There's the fourth, and say what you want. Every week we hear the coaches say, we've got to coach better. I got to tell you, Daryl, inside of the last 4 minutes of the game, I'm pointing that game 100% on play calling and mistakes that the coaching staff made on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that fourth quarter, Andy, in which the Browns picked up one first down the entire quarter, just one. This one falls on Kevin Stefanski. I know you can blame Denzel Ward or Jim Schwartz for that defensive breakdown on the winning touchdown there, but this one's on Kevin Stefanski. With less than 4 minutes to play, 3 straight runs, they only burn 11 seconds off the clock. The Vikings are stacking the box. How you do not go with a play action, at least on one of those plays, Andy, is beyond me. You give the ball right back to the Vikings, who march right down the field. Look, I get it. It's Carson Wentz. It's that Viking offense that hasn't done a lot against your defense. But here's the bottom line. You failed to down a punt at the 1 yard line because the toe touched the goal line. Sorry, Rex, but them's the rules. A for effort, F for execution. You don't get anything going offensively. Quinshon Judkins was outstanding, but again, down the stretch, just poor clock management, poor play calling by Kevin Stefanski. And, how do you, with 7 seconds to go, not try and peel off a 15-yard play, get out of bounds real quick to give you one more shot at the end zone there as well? So just all around, that loss is on Kevin Stefanski, and congratulations, your quarterback change got you the same exact number for your season high at points in 17. The quarterback change did nothing for that offense.
I think there's a brick wall around the number 20 or maybe even the number 19 for this team. They can't do it. I say it week in. I say it day in. I say it hourly. The NFL wants scoring in their league. They will hand you 21 points just for coming in as a fan appreciation, much like going to a baseball game when they hand you a bobblehead. The NFL wants to hand you 21 points because of the way the rules are set up, and the Browns cannot get to 21 points. They can't get to 20. They can't get to 19, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Although I will say Gabriel gave them some looks that we didn't see with Joe Flacco earlier in the season. His ability to escape the pocket, made some pretty good reads. There were some times when I thought he forced the ball a little bit because he wanted to live to see another day. But you know what? He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't. On the first time before they called the timeout at the last, he threw an interception, but it didn't count because Minnesota had the timeout. The Browns didn't turn the ball over. Quinshon Judkins had over 100 yards. The defense did what they needed to do to win. I thought the defense played well too. Again, you wear them out by going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I'm sorry. It is hard not to point the finger at the coaches on this one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Dylan Gabriel, it was okay.
It was okay.
19 to 33, a $190, 2 touchdowns. His rating sub 95 at 94.3. Completely acceptable NFL starting debut there. Okay.
Yes.
Not great, but you did not lose the game because of him. You got David Njoku going, who had been gathering mothballs in the first couple of weeks of the season. Njoku, 6 catches on 9 targets, around 68 yards or so, 67, 68 yards. And then, of course, he also, scored the touchdown on that beautiful thread the needle throw.
That was a great throw.
Between 3 Vikings defenders. My guy, Harold Fannin Jr., his first NFL touchdown catch as well in the first quarter on a beautifully designed play by Stefanski and Tommy Rees. But yeah, it really feels like Kevin Stefanski let them down late in this game, did not give them the toolkit they needed from a play calling standpoint to choose some time off the clock, move the ball there in the fourth quarter, just 3 and out all fourth quarter.
And then you throw on the 11-second drive, you throw on third down. Like, Make them burn their last time out if they're going to do it. I mean, they gave it to him. You throw the ball over his head, boom, clock stops. It's just they did things today that you just don't. I don't expect out of an NFL coaching staff.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna rip the defense again because I think the defense gives them every opportunity. I thought the offense had a decent game plan today.
They created 2 turnovers, and the Browns didn't, weren't really able to do a lot, with extra possessions. And again, that is just really, really frustrating when you're talking about, they got the 1 turnover early in the game, and they did turn that into a touchdown. But then you get the second turnover, right? The second fumble created, and you go 3 and out, and you do nothing, and it's outstanding field position. And that's the frustrating thing. It's not like they had poor field position. Even in the fourth quarter, Andy, they had 2 drives start at their own 41-yard line. One, I think, was off the missed 50-plus yard field goal by the Vikings, his first miss of the season, right? And, they do nothing with that. They're able to force a punt there, again, starting at their own 41, and they do nothing with that as well. So you had 2 prime opportunities there in the fourth quarter, outstanding field position, and you did nothing with it. And that's frustrating because the defense did their job. They gave you extra opportunities. You only got 7 points off the 2 turnovers. At least you got the 7 there in the first quarter. But that is just a frustrating loss because they basically snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Once again, I had a buddy.
Second time this year. I mean, Cincinnati should have been a win too. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Again, but they can't move the ball. They can't score. And, the quarterback change is all well and good. And I certainly understood why they made it. Gave you some more mobility. You saw Dylan Gabriel there show you some athleticism to try and get himself out of trouble. But in the end, it really didn't matter, right? The wide receivers on this team are not producing in a way that's conducive to them winning games. Isaiah Bond, 2 catches for 29 yards on 7 targets. I'll grant you a couple of those targets were of the throwaway variety. So let's be fair about that. Jerry Jeudy, 2 catches, 15 yards on 5 targets, right? It's just you're not going to win like that when you're not able to get the football to your receivers. Quinshon Judkins, let's pause the negativity for a second and let's be positive. The Browns have a franchise running back in Quinshon Judkins. I think that is fair to say after watching him through these 3 games here. Outstanding on Sunday. He finished with 110 yards on 23 carries, just under a 5-yard per carry average. He also showed the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, a big 18-yard gain on that 1 catch. So, let's be positive for a second. They have a franchise running back, right? But the rest of that offense, man, it's a mess.
So where do they go from here, Daryl?
Well, I think you build around Quinshon, right?
Okay.
I think that's one piece you can build around. I was really disappointed. Harold Fannin, right? He had 4 catches. I know just 13 yards and the touchdown in the first half. They didn't go back to him in the second half. Now, he might have gotten a little banged up. There was that one play where he was a little slow to get up and seemed to be, favoring something. But they didn't go to him in the second half. And I don't understand that. Productive in the first half for it. I don't know why you didn't go back to him. And I understand that sometimes that's hard to do, but he was catching the football for you in the first half. And
he's done it all season.
Yeah. No, by the way, 4 targets in the first half, 4 catches, 0 targets, 0 catches in that second half. And again, I realize you got Njoku going there in the second half a little bit. Understand it, but I'm a big hot hand guy, and Harold Fannin's got hot hands. He catches the ball when it's thrown to him. So I'd like to see him get more than just 4 targets in a football game.
How much hotter did the seat get for Kevin Stefanski after a loss like that? Again, I can't stress enough. The time management at the end of the game was atrocious.
Yeah. And I'm sure that after the game, Kevin's going to talk about we need to coach better, as you alluded to right out of the gate as we got going here. Well, okay, so here's my thing. And I understand sometimes that's coach speak. You're falling on the sword, right? A little bit.
Right.
But my question is, okay, if you're constantly telling us how you need to coach better, when do you start coaching better?
I said that. We need
when,
to coach better. He said that last week. He said that. I think he said that every week. And I'm like, okay, are you going to hold yourself responsible for that? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I think Jimmy Haslam's taking the blame for a lot of this stuff, rightfully so, because of Deshaun Watson. But this is one of those games where the owner doesn't matter. This 100%. Is how they played it at the end.
100%. Coaching mattered at the end. Kevin O'Connell schooled Kevin Stefanski in that game, ran circles around him, especially in the fourth quarter. And that's disappointing because I have a tremendous amount of respect for Kevin. I do think he's a very bright coach. I do think he's a good coach, but we got to call it the way we see it here. And that loss is on Kevin Stefanski. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It doesn't even feel like after game or Monday morning quarterbacking on it. I mean, it was just 11-second drives that late in the game is just, you're asking to lose. And even if they could have helped them to, I mean, I was at the point where, if they hold them to a field goal on those final drive, I'm okay with it because it meant that if you were going to win the game, you just needed to get to 20. That magic number of 20, which eludes the Browns with this force field around it that they can't get outside of 17. It's just, I don't. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. That's the one big takeaway I take from today. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. This team does not have enough offensive power to even get to 20 points.
Here's my frustration, and it's been my frustration with the Browns for many years. I watch so much football around the league, and it's fun, it's entertaining, and it looks so easy. And the Browns, it doesn't matter who the coach is, doesn't matter who the quarterback is, they always make it hard. They always make it look like you're climbing Mount Everest every game. It's so frustrating because I watch all these other teams and they adapt week to week, and it's just like watching a different sport sometimes. And I realize the Browns have had a couple of good seasons, including under Stefanski. Like I want to be fair about that, but more often than not, since 1999, this has just been a difficult watch. Everybody else can seem to play the sport at a high level except the Cleveland Browns. Every other team in the National Football League can have quarterbacks throw for 300 yards with regularity except the Cleveland Browns. Every team in the National Football League can score 20 points or more with regularity. Even the crap teams in the NFL can put 20 points on the board, not the Cleveland Browns. It's so frustrating. I think I told you the stat on last week's post-game show, Andy, where I looked it up. 18 seasons since 1999, the Cleveland Browns have failed to average 20 points in a game. Do you know how impossible that is?
I say it all the time. I'm with you.
In this modern era. And like I said, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Kevin Stefanski. I genuinely like the man. I genuinely like the coach. But when wins and points are few and far between, you can't screw it up in the fourth quarter the way he did on Sunday. You just can't. You should be coming home with your second win. Instead, now you're 1-4. Your season is basically over. You're back. You're now in evaluation mode, right? Let's go ahead and start the clock to when we're going to see Shedeur Sanders at some point, because honestly, that's all Browns fan has to look forward to from here on out. And again, Dillon Gabriel played okay. He wasn't great. He didn't make many plays. The touchdown throw was the 2 touchdown throws, I should say, was great. His best throw of the game was when he threaded the needle to Njoku between 3 Viking defenders. That was chef's kiss. Beautiful. But outside of that, Andy, that's it. Okay. Dillon Gabriel really brought not much more to the table than we had been watching from Joe Flacco. Okay. He was sacked fewer times. All right. It didn't turn it over. All right. We'll take that. Guess what? You still scored 17 points.
It's hard. It's hard. And guess what? It gets even harder because now you're coming home, hopping on a bus later this week to go to Pittsburgh. You don't even fly over there, but it's probably about the same time anyway. And you got the Steelers. Right? I mean, like, I can't tell you how crazy the schedule is, right? Minnesota plays in Dublin last week, stays there for 10 days, probably more well-rested than the Browns were. Still, they were in a hurry to get home. They wanted to get home, and I'm not surprised. We talked about that on the pregame show. But now you get the Steelers next week in Pittsburgh. And by the way, Pittsburgh had the week off.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know how this movie's going to go because it's just the way it always goes against this. I have zero confidence the Browns are winning next week in Pittsburgh. They'll be 1-5. You know what I'm going to call that, Andy? A schedule loss. It's a schedule loss, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just like in the NBA. Totally agree.
Absolutely. So, you know, let's give the defense credit for forcing 2 turnovers. They did they finally got after Carson Wentz a little bit, which was, you know, really good to see. You know, Malik Collins, 2 sacks, right? Alex Wright, a sack and a forced fumble. Shelby Harris got in on a forced fumble there along with Isaiah McGuire. So like that last drive though is maddening that the defense though gave up. But this is again a byproduct of your offense not doing their job. You know, you open with talking about complementary football, right? Special teams, once again, shocker, didn't do enough on Sunday. Offense, shocker, didn't do enough on Sunday. Your defense did. And I know people are going to point to 10 plays, 80 yards, 240, whether Denzel Ward messed up trying to bait Carson Wentz into making that throw or whatever. I guess we could sit here and debate that. You know, was that the right move, you know, by Denzel? Look, he's one of the best corners in the National Football League. So, like, I'm willing to give him a little grace on that. But, you know, Jordan Addison didn't see a whole lot of him in the game. Boom. Just, you know, again, perfect throw, less than 30 seconds left. And the Vikings steal one from the Browns. And if it was not for, I hate to go the ifs and buts, candy and nuts, but they're probably where they should be, right? They should have won week 1 against Cincinnati. They should have lost, week 3 against the Green Bay Packers. So they are where they should be at 1-4. It's just really, really frustrating that the whole point of, making the quarterback change was a spark. Did it look like there was a spark offensively for the Cleveland Browns Sunday in London?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
It was faint.
It was faint. There were, again, I'll say there were plays that Gabriel was able to make that Flacco doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's still 17. But that's at 17. That's all I see is 17. Daryl, I am ready to go to bed, man. That early game killed me. You tell me. Look at me. I mean, I'm wearing a hat. I never wear hats.
Well, we know you broke the internet on Friday, and
yes.
I think it's only appropriate that after doing that, you come dressed appropriately for another post-mortem edition following yet another Browns loss in which the offense still stinks. The defense got a little tired at the end, clearly. Still don't know what Bubba Ventrone does for the Cleveland Browns, but he's also still gainfully employed. And Kevin Stefanski, who is a really good coach, picked the wrong Sunday to have a bad fourth quarter, and ultimately it ends up costing the Browns their 4th loss of the season, and they go to Pittsburgh for loss number 5, and we just have to see how bad the beating is going to be.
Miami, where are you? Where are you? Where's New Orleans? Can we get them? We need your team.
Yeah, but you know what? The Saints might be able to beat these guys. That's the sad thing.
He's Daryl Ruiter. I'm Andy Baskin. That's Brownie Bites, the post-game edition. Browns lose to the Minnesota Vikings 21-17. Thanks for watching us on the YouTube channel and listening to us on the Odyssey app.